It is my joy and my great pleasure today to speak about something that's very dear to my heart, and that is poise. Now, a lady who has poise is a lady that's regarded as being elegant, graceful, and full of class. In a society where people do what they want to do and speak, out of line at times, or just share their thoughts, even when sometimes their thoughts are not required, we are coming today to speak about the importance of poise. But we must first ask ourselves, what does poise mean? Poise refers to how you carry yourself. As a lady, yes, and as a gentleman, but because I'm a lady, we're going to speak up to our ladies about how you carry yourself as a lady. Now, my friend Taj has asked me to please speak on the importance of the word covenant, because some people think that when I'm speaking, I'm only talking about marriage, but I'm talking about a societal agreement of how we should behave. And whereas the old ways, in terms of where we're living now, before we go into the golden age, has been about expression, self expression, regardless to how you offend persons or whether or not you offend persons. We're talking about a new societal agreement or covenant where people learn and express social graces and etiquette. So, what's poise? Poise refers to how you carry yourself. Poise specifically is defined as graceful and elegant bearing in a person. Graceful and elegant bearing in a person. And gracefulness refers to the way you move. You move in a smooth and controlled way. To move in a manner in which you have full control of your body, your gestures, your expressions, and even your emotions. So, poise being defined as a graceful and elegant bearing in a person must first be expressed by looking at the etymology of the word poise. And the etymology or the origin of the word poise means weight and balance. So, when you think of someone that's poised, think of weight, something that helps you to gain your control and composure, something that makes you fixed and stable. So, again, being graceful and elegant means to move in a smooth or controlled way, and elegant means pleasingly stylish and graceful in expression, appearance, and mannerisms. So, let's talk about poise in three ways. Poise, as it refers to your posture, your gestures, and your expressions. We're going to first start with your posture, ladies, because your posture is a way of referencing or letting people know how you feel about yourself, how you carry yourself, and how you conduct your business. So, your posture is very, very important, not only in public, but also in your home. So, when we talk about posture, let's think about sitting, standing, and walking. Imagine for me, ladies, that there is a string that's pulled from your head at the top of your head and pulling everything tightly together in a controlled fashion. So the string is pulling you together tightly, is lifting everything in your body so that you can sit and stand and walk tall. If you imagine that string pulling you up tightly, it's lifting your head. So you never want your head to be leaning over, or very seldom, but lift it and balance with your shoulders. So the string that's pulling you up tightly lifts your head, right? It brings your shoulders up and it lifts your chest. So in terms of your shoulders, I want you to start practicing this way. Remember these type of warm-ups you would do when you would do aerobics? Some of the ladies that are in my age group, you remember this. So imagine you're doing this, right? And I want you to practice this. And then you stop here. This is how your shoulders should be lifted. We're talking about social graces and mannerisms, being a poised lady. Your head is level with your shoulders come back, and your chest is lifted. Your stomach is tucked in. That's good posture. When you walk, sit, or stand, this is how you should be at all times. And we're not talking about when you're just lounging around at home in bed, but even when you're sitting in your home around your family and your children, they should see you being graceful and elegant and moving in a controlled manner. So, shoulders back, head slightly lifted, stomach tight and in. This is how my mother taught me. And this is how the ladies, the elderly ladies, used to teach us how to maintain our composure or how to sit, walk, and stand. Another word for poise is deportment. Okay, so deportment is your bearing or how you sit, how you control your manners. So you sit this way, you walk this way, and you stand this way. Now, I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm a head mistress of a school. So I will look my young ladies in the eye like this. And at times I might raise my head slightly just to let them know that I'm elevated. I'm not on your level. I'm a slightly elevated. Okay. And when I talk to my ladies, I'll lift their heads or I'll do a gesture like this so they can know to, if their head is down, lift your head and look at me. So head, your eyes are straight forward. You're looking ahead. Your head is slightly lifted. Your shoulders back, chest up, stomach in. Sitting, standing, and walking. If you want to know how to walk as a lady that has control of her posture, then what I suggest is that you put books on your head, maybe 2 or 3 books, and walk from one end of the room to the other, balancing the books on your head. Because remember, the etymology of the word poise is balance. So this is why in etiquette school, we teach the young ladies to walk with a book on their head. So you can have balance and you move. When you do that, you move gracefully and elegantly. You show that you have control of not only your body, but that represents that you have control over your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, your gestures, and expressions. Now, for all of you that desire to be chosen in covenant, in marriage, a man of certain societies and certain classes and social strata will look for a lady that has deportment, ladies that know how to carry themselves. Because again, your posture represents how you will manage your life, your weight, your finances, and your children. So, how do you practice good posture? Practice your shoulders, doing your shoulders like this. Practice having your head level with your shoulders and keeping your stomach tucked in. If you walk around and sit around slouching often, then that represents to people from the outside looking in that you're careless, that you're lazy, that you lack deportment, that you're not concerned about your life, your weight, your finances, your goals. So we don't slouch, we sit with good posture. What we say, we said sitting, standing, and walking. Secondly, you can, when you think of how you can be poised, we said gestures. When I think about gestures, I'm thinking about how you move your body, yes, but also parts of your body like your hands. A lady, a refined, elegant lady has control of her hands. She's not pointing, she's not throwing her hands in front of people, she's not pushing. Now, yes, we express with our hands and we talk with our hands, but even your hands should be controlled. So people have asked me, how do you hold your hands when you're sitting or walking or standing? The elegant way that a lady holds her hands, and I want you to look at first ladies such as Michelle Obama, Melania Trump, and all the first ladies before them. This isn't a discussion about whether or not they were men or women or transgender. We're talking about the seat or the position of a first lady, the lady that represents her husband, the country, and the seat of the presidency well, with elegance, grace, and sophistication. The way they usually hold their hands are like this when they're talking. Pay attention, look at their speeches. If they're not holding their hands like this, they're clasping them like this, whether it be by their chest or by their right below their belly or even right here. If you're going to hold your hands, maybe you don't want to hold them in a clasp, but you want to do something else. You hold them by your side, or you have a little elevated kind of thing where you do this or this with your hands. When you're speaking and when you're sitting and standing. Now, I have made a practice of this, but I watched my grandmother. This is how elegant, classy ladies use their hands. Gently, softly moving their hands, maybe in the what we call prayer position or a clasp. I was speaking to a Chief Rod Hayes once, and he said, you do a lot of this when you're speaking. And the reason you do that is because in a past life, you may have held a crystal ball. So I like that. I think that's very nice. I also have taken belly dancing classes. And in belly dancing, you move like this. You learn a lot of elegant, soft, smooth ways of movement. So again, an elegant lady that has poise has posture. She's poised also in her movements and her gestures, how she moves certain body parts, including her hands and also her head. So an elegant lady would keep her head straight. If she's a woman of a certain age, she might lift it slightly up. And while some people say that's being snooty, for us, it means, yes, I have a higher position than you. I am your elder. And when I speak to my young ladies, if I gently move their head up or I do this position, they'll know I'm up here. Raise up, raise your standard up, your eyes up, and your head up, and look up at me in my eyes. Okay. So another way an elegant lady moves her head is she does it so that she's exposing pheromones. Nodding. You're exposing pheromones by just slightly showing this part of your neck. Moving it gracefully, slowly, methodically. That's your gesture. How are you moving your head? One way you can exercise or, practice that is just move slowly at home when you're speaking. It's kind of like you're stretching your neck, but you're stretching it very methodically. Even when you are posing for pictures, they say that women that pose like this get the most attention because they're exposing their pheromones and showing their elegant, graceful, sophisticated side of themselves. So let me turn my phone off because I think this video is running at my phone on my phone concurrently while I'm speaking. So we talked about poise and sitting, standing, and walking, and your gesture with your face and what else? Your head, your hands. And let's talk about nodding. So when people are speaking, you can nod to let them know that you're acknowledging them. Now, let me say this. It's not always necessary for a lady to speak. You must know when to speak and when to keep silent. The scripture says in Ecclesiastes that there's a time and place for everything. It also says to let your words be few, and we'll talk about speech at another time. But there is always a time for acknowledgement, and you can acknowledge people again by a nice, kind, sophisticated, elegant nod. So we talked about posture. What else did we talk about? Gesture. And now let's talk about expression. An elegant, refined lady has a pleasant expression on her face. Now, I get it that everybody's not always happy. Everybody's not always joyous, but an elegant lady has composure in all situations. So what should her expression be? I'm not talking about if you're sad and you've been at a funeral. I'm speaking generalities. Your expression should be pleasant. Look at presidents' wives, first ladies. Look at women that have positions in high society. Generally speaking, they either have just a soft expression, or they're looking straight ahead, or they're smiling. Your facial expression should say, I'm composed, I'm well rested, I'm at peace, and I'm confident. This is what we teach our young ladies in etiquette school. Your posture, your gestures, and your expressions must have poise. It must be defined. It must be graceful and elegant. You must move in a smooth, controlled manner. You must be elegant. That means you're pleasingly stylish and graceful in expression and mannerisms and in behavior. It means you have deportment. It means you have a bearing about yourself. A bearing is just your way of your expression or your way of standing or moving. So, ladies, please practice poise. Poise lets the world know how you see yourself. Poise lets the world know how you conduct business. Poise alerts men to how well you can be composed in social situations, how you will manage scandal, because scandals do arise, how you will manage troubles, trials, and tribulations. Now, this is only for ladies who want to move in an elegant and sophisticated, classy manner, and for the young ladies who want to be chosen in covenant. Covenant is another word for marriage, an agreement. These ladies understand and overstand the importance of complimenting their mate, complimenting their husband, complimenting the legacy that their family has led, complimenting their bloodline. When you compliment your bloodline and the family and the legacy that your husband has led, your great grandfather has led, then you operate in poise and with poise in all manners. Okay, we will later talk about emotional intelligence and communication styles because all of that is important when you talk about poise. But the representation of your emotional intelligence, the representation of the joy that you have within you, the representation of your mentality must show in your outward expression, in your poise, in the way that you stand, sit, walk, speak, express yourself, and even in your gestures. So remember, my darlings, practice. Practice makes perfect. Practice your shoulders this way so that you're sitting or standing erect. Practice tucking your stomach in and lifting your chest up. Practice having your head level with your shoulders. Practice having a smile on your face. If you don't know how to do that, just walk around smiling. The more you practice smiling, the more you will have inner joy. And we'll talk about how to have inner peace later. So practice smiling. Practice moving your hands in a very sophisticated manner. Just go about your day doing that. Practice walking with books on your head so that you learn balance and control. Practice makes perfect. So I hope I've said something that will help you on your way, ladies, because again, we are training refined, classy, sophisticated ladies who know how to conduct themselves in all social settings. So we're teaching social graces and etiquette for young ladies who are learning to become marriageable and how to conduct themselves when in covenant and how to conduct themselves in the world. Thank you so much, Brother Andre Ronald Amexem Bay. I'm so grateful that you attended my live today. Family, we will come back more as Dr. Kia Pruitt shares intelligence and information about how a lady is to conduct herself. Peace, family. I love you. Bye-bye.